ask you about the evolution of the offense from week 1 to week 6, how you gotten better, kind of what direction you're headed. And Ty mentioned the tight end screens that was a Kansas City play. Can you kind of speak to those things?
Yeah, we've always had a couple of tight end screens in the playbook. Watching a little bit of NFL film, you always can pick up one or two things that can help you. We're always looking for different things that different people are doing that are some new wrinkles. But we've always had that kind of play in the system. We're learning our guys a little bit more as we go, and learning, that you got guys that can make some plays that maybe weren't in there early in the season that are getting an opportunity that have shown to be a playmaker that deserves to get the ball a little bit more. So, we're installing our offense as we go, and the biggest thing is the retention level. Of our guys, I'm always constantly, preaching to our offense that, you guys got to retain this stuff. We can do a lot of different things, and but if you don't know what you're doing, it makes it tough. And we had that happen on Saturday. We had a couple of times where, we didn't block it right on the perimeter, or we didn't had it up inside, or didn't run the right route. We didn't drop out on the route we were supposed to on a third down. So, a lot of that's, you can do a bunch of wrinkles and it can look really good, but also you can have some missed assignments as well that can cost you. So, again, I'm always constantly preaching to our guys. It's about retention and about, keeping on to things that we're doing, and so we can continue on as we go.
Got a pretty nice package going with Cole Kelly on short yardage and goal line. How'd that come by? Just how do you think Cole's handled everything since the North Texas game?
Well, I think Cole's, like I've said, he's enjoying being around our room. We have a really good room in the quarterback room, and we have a good time in there. And I think he's embraced his role. I think he knows that Ty's playing well, and he's got Ty's back. He's encouraged him. Like I said, every week he's been the guy that's really encouraged Ty, and just like everybody else has. And he's embraced his role. And it's hard to stop 6'7", 270 on 3rd and 1 or on the goal line. And as long as we can hat him up and he can find a crease and kind of fall forward, it's hard to stop. So he's really embraced that role, and he loves that kind of stuff. He's always coming to me asking, what's his package for this week, and obviously we've had one every week since the North Texas game.
Going back to the A&M game, you had the long drive there toward the end that got you back within a touchdown, and then you had the success against Alabama. How much of that do you think is the offensive line, the continuity of those 5 playing together now for 3 straight games?
Well, I think 2 things there. I think one, kind of what you said in the A&M game, I think that was a little later in the game. We got some confidence. We felt like we had worn them down just a little bit, and and we were in what we felt like we were in better condition than they were. But I also feel like, the more reps in any offensive line, wherever you're at, whether it be pro ball, high school ball or college, those guys, the continuity of those guys playing next to each other week in, week out, day in, day out at practice is very, crucial to your development as an offense. And I think those guys are really playing well together. And they're making mistakes, yeah, but they're also doing some really good things. And the more they can play together these next 6 games, and we can create some continuity, can continue to do that, I think that they'll only get better.
How much confidence has Ty Story gained over the last couple of weeks, in particular on 3rd downs?
Yeah, I think you see his confidence level growing tremendously. I think he's got more confidence in the offensive line than he did early in the season. I think he's got a little bit more confidence in the guys that he can get the ball to that can make some plays. And I think, you see his confidence growing by the day. Practice, in games, he's growing. He's getting more confident in everything he's doing. And obviously, that helps you on 1st and 2nd down as well as 3rd down. I think that, the other day at the game, we did a really good job on 1st and 2nd down to not stay in as many long yardage 3rd downs as we've faced the past couple of weeks. I know we cut that down tremendously, but and I think that has a lot to do with it too. Anytime any quarterback you have, if you're facing a third and long, it's tough in this league, in any league, and and so we helped ourselves out last week by producing on first and second down and staying out of those third and long situations. I think we only had 3 third and longs, whereas I know a couple weeks ago at Auburn we had 12. So I know that obviously helps gain a quarterback's confidence.
Start feeling comfortable with Debian Warren being over the injury and everything, and just what do you look for out of him after here on out?
Yeah, I mean, ever since the spring, we've been really excited about Devion and the things that he brings to the table. You know, obviously getting off the injury and missing a couple games, we had to get him back out there, get him back in shape, make sure he knew what he was doing and get some reps at practice. And, we felt like this was a game to get him in there a little bit and see what he could do. And obviously caught his first touchdown, offensive touchdown since he's been here. And so I think he's a guy that we can build on. He's a guy that is a playmaker, a guy that he can be deadly with the ball in his hands. So, he's doing a really good job for us, and I think he'll continue to get better as he goes.
I want to ask you about Ty's presence in the pocket. In this game, it looked like he did some nice lateral stuff. He stepped up a few times, kept his eyes downfield. Have you seen that grow? And the touchdown to Devion, he was rolling to his left. Was that the scheme? Was that the play on that one?
Oh yeah, it was a naked that we had called. Felt like at that time, a naked would be a good play to call, so we called it. And we're trying to get the ball to CJ in the flat, and CJ wasn't there, but the over route was, and Devion did a nice job getting open. Heck of a throw by Ty, rolling to his left. Really good throw there. But that's the stuff, you mentioned in the pocket. That's stuff we work every day at practice. When you guys are out there, I know you probably see a lot of it, a lot of pocket movement stuff. And just stepping up in the pocket and feeling comfortable sitting there while the bullets are flying. So he's obviously gotten a lot better with that as we've gotten reps and he's played a lot in the games. He's done a really good job of gaining confidence and sitting in the pocket and finding his targets down the field.
Is there a concern about Ty Story, the fumbles that he had Saturday? Is that something that you work with him on this week?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's every day. We constantly preach ball security, and in pre-practice, we got boxing gloves, and we're constantly hitting at the ball. The first one is unfortunate. He got a little pressure. He's trying to get rid of it. That's a learning experience for Ty that he'll get better at. He was trying to get rid of the ball, not take a sack there, and as soon as his left hand came off the ball. Their guy came in and punched at it pretty violently that I don't know if he had 2 hands on it that he would have been able to hold on to it. I mean, there was a violent rip at the ball, and unfortunately we lost that ball. But, I know the one going in the end zone, Ty was, really disappointed in because he made a great read on the run and was going in to score. We thought at first he had reached the ball over, tried to reach the ball over, but that wasn't the case. He had pretty good ball protection there, and just one of those things that happens. It's football, and we'll learn from it. But the thing we always say in that situation, he had one hand on it, but went in trouble double, and that's something he'll learn as we go.
Going back and looking at that 4th and 1 play. Was it just like you guys not getting set quick enough because y'all snapped the ball so quick, or?
No, that wasn't anything to do with that. We had 2 crucial missed assignments on that play. Guys that played really well throughout the game. That again, you try to do too much a little bit. Sometimes you screw something up a little bit. So that's what happened. We got the gap shot that is the most important at the point of attack. And then we didn't cut off the backside, and it was very disappointing that we didn't get that done. That was a play that we've been working for weeks, though, and we felt really confident that we'd be able to run it and get it. We just got to execute a little bit better on that one.
How much work can you get out of Brian Wallace this week after the ankle, and just how did Dalton Wagner do finishing up in his place?
Yeah, I know I heard Coach Fry sitting next to him in the box. He got on the headset with Dalton, and he said, hey, I hadn't seen the film yet, but when I don't notice that you're in there, that's a good thing. And so he did really well. He did really good, something we were concerned when he went in, but he played his butt off and did some really good things, and we didn't notice that he was in there. We didn't notice that B-Wall was out. But I think Brian will be fine. He'll get back, and he'll get a lot of treatment today, take a day off for academic Monday, and he'll be ready to go, I'm assuming, tomorrow.
Good 1-2 out of Boyd and Chase Hayden. So Devois comes back in the mix this week. I think Chad mentioned he'd probably be ready to go. Just how do you see things evolving with those guys?
Yeah, you always want to go with who's hot. Obviously, I mean, you guys know the statistics with Rakeem and what he was able to do against Alabama. He did some really good things, but also, you know, he ran through some guys that were unblocked, and he also had some pretty big holes to run in that the offensive line did a really nice job with the new little scheme we put in for last week. And, you know, so you always want to go with the guy that's hot. You want to go with the guy that's making people miss. You can't block them all. We say all the time it's your scholarship on his scholarship, and whose scholarship's going to win. So, you know, that's what we go by, and you know, we'll try to, you know, like I said all year, you know, it's good to have a lot of backs, and especially 6 games in. Obviously, Devois has been a little banged up. You know, I know those other 2 that played the other day, you know, they're not hurt, but they took. You know, they got hit pretty good a couple times, so they're a little sore yesterday, and I'm sure today. And again, they'll take today off and get a lot of treatment and rehab and be ready to go come practice tomorrow.
It looked like Clary might have had a couple of more low snaps. I mean, where do you see he is?
Yeah,
right
it was much better. I know the one on the goal line late in the game, you know, their guy kind of jumped the snap. And, you know, I think Ty just short-armed that one to try to get his hands on the guy that kind of jumped off sides. And then I think I remember one more that was low. But it was much better, something that we've definitely put a huge emphasis on. And we'll continue to do that, obviously, in practice, putting a guy over him that we feel like, you know, could he's got to block him or he's going to, you know, get run over. So. And then also in pre-practice, just having a guy holding a pad every time he snaps, where he's got to fire off the ball and hit the pad. So I thought it was much better. Obviously, we don't want any snaps that are low or high, but I thought it was much better on Saturday.
Receiving stats right now, you're getting a lot from your tight ends and from your running backs. You're not really getting a whole lot from your receivers. Is that something that's in the game plan, or is that something, you know, that you're looking for more out of your receivers?
Yeah, well, we had a shot play called. That, you know, early in the game, I think it was first drive of the game, that we tried to hit Jordan Jones deep and made a good. They had a good call on. It was something we'd worked on all week, and it was a little bit different look. You know, we tried to hit that. We obviously hit Dion down the field on a play action pass. You know, and then again on the third, there was a third and medium there early in the game that we had a crucial miss assignment. If we just drop out on the route, it's going to be a nice, easy completion. But also, you know, it's just, like I've said all along, it's kind of, you know, what the defense is doing to you, how they're trying to stop you, and it opens up other people. And I've been saying it that our tight end is very important to our offense, and I think now you're starting to see that. Obviously, getting CJ going and him doing some really good things for us, and then Cantrell making a play too across the middle. You know, that was Ty's third read on that play, and so. The first two reads, his primary and secondary target there are the receivers, and he had to step up in the pocket and find his third option, and that was Cantrell across the middle. So, again, it's just kind of it's however they're playing us, trying to take us away, and trying to take advantage of what they're giving us.
I want to get your read on the Cole Kelly to CJ touchdown pass.
Yeah.
How that play came about. I mean, did they sniff out that it might have been a pass play? And CJ said he cut it more across than vertical, just that play.
Yeah, just how we drew it up. No, they did. They did a really good job. You know, I kind of second-guessed myself on that call. You know, first down, I really wanted to call it on first down, and you know, we were having a little bit of success at that time running the football and putting Cole in there. Looking back on it, being, you know, a Monday offensive coordinator, you know, couch quarterback, whatever you want to call it. You know, probably should have called that on first down. Came to it on second. I don't think they sniffed it out. I think CJ felt that way because the safety was kind of playing over there. CJ is supposed to hit the end a little bit, blunt the end, whatever you want to say, and sell it a little bit more. But he felt like he had to do something a little bit different because of the way the safety was, and him and Cole worked it out. I know Cole, he told me yesterday he thought he was, going to run the ball, and then last minute he kind of saw CJ come open. So I'd like to say it's how we drew it up, but it's not. Those guys made a heck of a play, and obviously we were able to get a touchdown out of it. Thanks, guys.